I switched from the iPhone 17 Pro Max to the new Galaxy Fold 8. Until now, I could never use a folding phone as my main device. But this time, the Galaxy Fold 8 is different. It's much closer to a regular phone in width, and it looks like something you'd already have in your pocket. People compare it to a passport, and that's a fair comparison. Still, after almost 3 weeks with it, I can tell you that folding phones are not going mainstream anytime soon. Even when Apple releases its own foldable, that won't change. Regular slab phones can rest easy. Nothing is threatening them yet. The Fold 8 surprised me, in good ways and in some frustrating ones too. When you come to the Fold 8 from an iPhone 17 Pro Max or from something like a Galaxy S26 Ultra, the first few days are great. It's unfamiliar, but it's fun. The phone feels like a nice little box that you want to keep in your hands, look at and play with. And let's be honest, we've been using the same phone shape for years now. None of them really look different from each other. But even with that great design and a compact body that's easy to carry in a pocket or a bag, using it one-handed still isn't comfortable. You simply can't get a proper grip on it. You get used to the width very quickly. Getting used to a screen that's this short is much harder. The moment you go back to a regular phone, you notice how much more fits on the screen when you're scrolling social media or reading a long message thread. On a short, passport-shaped screen, a news or social feed shows a lot less at once. You end up swiping far more often to read the same amount of content. When you're typing, the on-screen keyboard can cover 50% of the display, leaving you a narrow strip of 2 or 3 lines for the actual text. Most modern apps, social media networks and websites are built for vertical scrolling. 19.5 by 9 or 20 by 9. After a while with this thing, a regular phone feels endless. So the Galaxy Fold 8 format is going to stay a niche product. It will never be the normal thing people buy. It's an interesting experiment and plenty of people will enjoy it. The moment you open it up, you have a very handy little tablet in your hands. With one problem. Android tablet software still isn't built for these screens. Some apps handle it well. You get a side panel with extra functions, a large working area next to it, Gmail for example, messages on the left, the open message on the right, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. There is plenty of software designed for wide screens and big displays. But there is also a huge amount of software that just stretches a phone layout across the whole screen. And it looks terrible. And these aren't obscure apps. Instagram, Booking.com, even TikTok. They're just blow-up phone interfaces with no adaptation to a wide screen, full of empty space and stretched buttons. This isn't a Galaxy Fold problem. It isn't even an Android problem. This is the state of every tablet in 2026. A lot of companies still haven't built properly adapted tablet version of their apps. And when you buy a Galaxy Fold 8, you're buying a half a phone that turns into a full tablet. And that tablet is where 90% of your important work will happen. Keep that firmly in mind. As I record this, the Galaxy Fold 8 is a brand new device. It will get many more updates and plenty of patches that fix software issues. Because there are issues. None of them are deal breakers, but they're there. Sometimes buttons in popular messaging apps just don't respond on the outside screen, like here in Telegram. Sometimes you have to restart an app if you opened it on the big screen and then folded the phone to keep using it. And sometimes it's the other way around. You open an app on the outer screen, and when you unfold the phone, it sits there frozen on the big screen, and you have to close it out of memory and restart it. Here is how I actually use the Fold 8. There are my main scenarios. The Fold 8 in the car. I rent cars a lot, so it matters to me that I can set up my own little cockpit in seconds. Navigation plus my own music or podcasts. Not every car has Android Auto, and even when it does, I don't always want to connect my phone to that car. So the Fold 8 is perfect. It lets me instantly open 2 windows on the screen, already set up the way I want them. Here is how I do it. I open Spotify, then open Waze alongside it. I cite the 2 windows once, Then tap the 3 dots on the divider between them. From there you can save that configuration as a favorite and put a shortcut for it on your home screen. Now, one tap on that icon brings up exactly the setup I want. For mounting in the car, by the way, I use a Pitaka wireless magnetic charger with active cooling. For the magnetic case, I use Samsung's own silicon case, which comes with 2 anti-glare screen protectors for the outer display. It's a really nice semi-transparent design, and pair it with the Pitaka mount, it holds very firmly next to the dashboard. The Fold 8 for games. I am not a mobile gamer, but folded or unfolded, this thing is shaped like a perfect handheld console. So you may as well take full advantage of what the system allows and use emulators. I installed WinLater, so now I can run a Windows environment right on the Fold 8 screen and install retro games. Heroes of Might and Magic 3, for example. I just copied the game folded from my PC, I bought it on GOG, and now it runs on my Fold 8. I'm not saying you should buy a 2 grand phone to play retro games, but for me it means a lot. I can launch a game I spent hundreds of hours on as a kid, anywhere I am. The Fold 8 and the work. Working on the Fold 8 is harder than it looks. I mean actually creating something, not just consuming. If you're reading, viewing documents, editing photos or video on your phone and answering emails, it's great. You can open up to 4 windows at once, but the moment you need to type, the realistic maximum is 2 windows. The reason is simple. The keyboard takes up around half the screen and there is just no room left for what you're working on. Typing on that keyboard isn't very comfortable either. You'll either adapt to swipe typing or you'll have to retrain your thumbs. On this one point, a regular phone is far better. Then there are Android-owned quirks. Here is an example. I need to select a long chunk of text in a messaging app. Just look at the size of working area. Even if I hide the keyboard, it's still tiny, 2 or 3 lines. It's incredibly awkward. I start selecting, drag down to extend the selection, and it doesn't scroll smoothly. It jumps straight to the end of the whole message, and I can't grab the part I actually wanted. It's physically impossible. Here is the same app on iOS. Look at the size of the editing area. I select the text and it's completely smooth. No jumping, and I can actually work with it. You'd think a phone that turns into a tablet-sized display would make this easier. What could possibly go wrong? There are a lot of little things like this, and they hit you when you're not expecting them. And it isn't just the Fold 8. I had the same thing on the Fold 7 and the Fold 6. Honestly, I think multitasking with multiple windows on a phone isn't for everyone. I'm not saying it's useless. Quite the opposite. There are plenty of moments where you feel the benefit. Sometimes you need to get on with one thing while keeping an eye on a task running in another app so you don't miss something important at work. That's genuinely useful. But as soon as you need to interact with those windows and type into them, things get complicated. If that's you, I'd recommend carrying a portable keyboard like mine. You can turn the Fold 8 into a laptop replacement. Watch. Put it on a magnetic stand, open the keyboard, and you can even connect a mouse. That's a little computer, and the whole setup fits in any bag or backpack. The Fold 8 and the camera. No telephoto camera on a flagship phone. That's disappointing. You work with what you got. The Fold 8's camera are flagship grade. Photos comes out very well, day or night. It has every shooting mode the S26 Ultra has. Astrophotography, AI relighting of your subject, all of it. Video is what you'd expect from any flagship Samsung Galaxy. Good stabilization, good detail, good low light performance, but the real win is that the new wide auto screen makes a fantastic viewfinder. Samsung foldables have a dedicated mode that turns on the main camera and the outer screen while locking the inner screen. So you can hold the phone in your hands without accidentally tapping anything. Set up like that is the most comfortable way of filming yourself on a phone that I've ever used. Nothing else comes close. Shooting long-form talking head videos on YouTube, Reels is genuinely easy. The Fold 8 as an e-reader. I'd been using the Galaxy S26 Ultra with its new display and the privacy display feature. I'm so glad Samsung didn't put that feature in the Fold 8. The new screen structure on the S26 Ultra is hard on the eyes. Switching to the Fold 8, your eyes get a break. Reading on this screen is a pleasure. It gets bright enough to read comfortably outdoors in summer. The shape itself is perfect for books, magazines, comics and manga. The one thing that spoils it is fingerprints. The inner screen picks them up badly, and it's not easy to wipe clean. It isn't glass with a perfect oleophobic coating. The verdict: foldables are not going to become a mass market thing, and it's been 8 years since the first one appeared. They have a lot going for them, but the regular phone shape will stay the standard for most people. I'm not saying foldables are bad. I'm saying they solve some problems and create new ones. And that trade-off only really works for a small group of users. And this device costs so much that even someone curious enough to try one may simply not be able to justify it. Not even Apple can push most people onto a folding phone. Whether I'm right about that, time will tell. Thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel and don't miss the new ones. Bye!